Hi everyone, it's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie and welcome to today's video. This is video number 5 for my most wonderful time product medley videos. So this is my final one. We're going to be making these two adorable tags that are right here. One has Comfort and Joy and one says Deck the Halls. I'm going to leave these laying here so you can see them while I'm doing the video. I'm going to set everything aside. And I just realized I missed a little star on this one when I looked at the photos, so I'm going to add that on there so I don't forget to do it in this video for you all. Let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. It's the easiest way to get these little stars. It has a little star right there. Isn't that cute? Love these tags. So each of these tags you're going to start. This one starts with designer series paper. This one starts with Whisper White thick cardstock. So I'm going to start with the white one. I've got my piece of Whisper White thick cardstock, and then you're going to just snip a corner off from it because it's going to start as a rectangle. Just snip a little corner off with your scissors or use your paper trimmer, however you want to do it. Then you're going to take a small piece of just a little tiny scrap, cut a 1/2 inch circle, and you're going to take some of your snail adhesive, stick it down. Now you could use glue if you want to. Got a little bit of adhesive there on my paper. I'm going to get that off so I don't stick to it here. You could use some glue if you want. It'll take a little time to dry, and that's not a big deal, but it's up to you however you want to adhere it down. I just prefer the snail adhesive. Then punch a hole in it with it. Try to be more centered than I am. I wasn't centered on any of these when I punched them. I just can't get that right for some reason. Take a scrap piece of Whisper White, and we are going to stamp this tree in Old Olive, and we're going to stamp it off one time, and then we're going to stamp it on here, and then we're going to also stamp it onto the tag. That's a little light. Stamp it here, and then we're going to stamp another one onto the tag. So you've got a lighter one and a little bit darker one. Now these ones are a little lighter. This pad is juicy. I was using my old pad when I made this one, so I got a lot of ink with this new juicy pad. And then you're going to use your dies to cut that out, which I've already cut one out and I have it ready here on the side. We'll just put some dimensionals on the back of it. And now in yesterday's video we had this gift left over that we had cut out, and that's perfect because it goes for this tag, so I hope you saved that from yesterday. So you could do this one, flip this over, get some dimensionals on the back of it. Now I like to take a little strip from the side, so I've got one regular size dimensional there, and then just a little strip for that top piece because it's kind of thick or kind of thin. And just go ahead and adhere your tree on there. These tags are really quick and easy, but they are so adorable. Go ahead and do the same with your gift, and you can see again this is paper that I've played around with first to see how I liked how everything's stamped. Put your gift right to the side there. You're going to also take that scrap piece of paper, and you are going to use some Memento black ink, and you're going to stamp Comfort and Joy. Go ahead, just get that stamped on there, and then grab your 1 1/2 inch circle punch and cut this out, or punch it out, however you want to say it. Punch that out from your scrap piece of paper. On the back of that circle, go ahead and add some snail adhesive, and then we are going to get a couple pieces of this and just cut it off and just kind of stick it to the edges. Stick it because you just want a little bit coming off from, and do it twice, so that way you've got a couple of little pieces and loops, and you can do one end and then hook the other end just to make a little loop if you want to. If you just hook the center, then you've got just those little pieces that are sticking out at the side. Once you have that done, go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back, because we were just using that snail adhesive just to hold the tinsel on. So now that you've got that, you've got your little Comfort and Joy. Add that to the front of your tag, and that's it. That tag is done, other than, and I missed it, stamping my little gold stars at the top. So I just stamped it with the Delicata. Now you could do Versamark and gold embossing powder if you want to, but I just thought this Delicata worked just fine. It's called Golden Glitz. Make sure you've got it. There you go. Add some little gold stars at the top, and you're done. Finished with that one. So now we can work on this second one, and we will start with the Golden Glitz so we don't forget. Got all my pieces here. I'm going to pull them out. Now this one starts with some designer series paper, and this is the red and white stripe. And then you're going to have a square of Whisper White for the front. You can go ahead and just adhere that on there, and then we can stamp with our Golden Glitz ink. And you want to leave a little space at the bottom and obviously some space at the top. And this one only has that top corner and then down here in the bottom left corner. So then you just have that little gold shimmer there. Once you have that done, go ahead and flip this over, and you've got that gorgeous candy cane on the back. Isn't that, I love that print. Put some snail adhesive on a piece of Whisper White, because you want to have somewhere that you can write. I just got some of that Old Olive on there that I was talking about. That was on stuck on my finger from earlier. In one of my other videos, I had got some Old Olive. So that's all right. It's on there. So you know what? We're just gonna take. Actually, let's take the little star stamp, and we'll use actually Old Olive to go over it. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Just go over top of each of those little blobs of ink I got on there, and you just got some cute little stars on the back now. All right, perfect. Flip it over. Go ahead and take a scrap piece of basic black and your 1/2 inch circle punch, and you're going to punch out the little top for your tag. Put some snail adhesive on it, center it at the top of your tag, and then you use your whatever punch you have that you want to punch it out with. That's actually the most on center I've gotten in any of these tags, so woohoo, good for me. All right, we're cut out one of these banners from the dies in Old Olive, and we are going to take move that out of my way, take the embossing buddy, go over it with your embossing buddy, because we're going to do Deck the Halls in Versamark, and we will sprinkle some Whisper White embossing powder on it. Let me find my Deck the Halls stamp. Here we go. We're going to do that in Versamark. Get my Whisper White powder ready so we can sprinkle it on so it doesn't dry on us before we get it sprinkled. Make sure you cover up your Versamark before you start sprinkling your powder, because it's very thin and it will get on your Versamark. Set that aside. I will put the cap on it in a minute. So now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and get the heat tool out, and take your pick tool to hold it down, because you don't want your fingers near that. I'm going to set it down just a little bit, let it heat up for just a second. Now, once you start heating over this, then it's going to melt that embossing powder, and it's such a nice, fun thing to watch as it melts. Just kind of run it over a couple times. It'll help. You'll see your paper will curl when you go back down. But once it starts melting that powder, you can see how it gets whiter. Pull that back so you can see. And then just go over the rest of it till it's all melted. Make sure it's melted good, or it'll kind of feel gritty. And you don't want it to feel gritty, because that means it's not melted all the way. if it's gritty. Now that it's done, flip it over. You're going to go ahead and use some of that. We're going to cut 2 strips. And we're just going to stick them on the back of this. And we want them to curl this way. So when you put it on your tag, it's not going to curl over your sentiment. So right now you kind of want it curling back toward the back of our little piece. We're going to take a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals and we will put them on the back here. Here, we'll kind of get, let's bring these a little bit closer to each other, so maybe not. I just want to get that piece off from there. That one can kind of be stuck with that dimensional, and then this one is actually underneath that other dimensional. Just pull them out while you're with your fingers so you don't get them stuck all the way down. I know it looks kind of crazy, but then you can take your backings off and just kind of hold them around. So maybe they come toward the front for now, and then we can flip them back in just a second. Stick that down onto your tag, and then you can kind of flip them back around and they'll go the other way. Well, thought they would go back the other way, but they're not going to this time. They did the first time I made it, but that's all right. So we've got them. That one's just going to be a little booger. It's going to go over top of my, there we go. Kind of curl it under. Now get some of your holly. And this piece right here at the bottom takes a large one, but you're going to want to cut that off just a little bit. Just snip a little bit of the end off. Get your holly stuck on there. And now the piece that comes off, we're going to use that embossing buddy again just to powder it up so it keeps those edges from sticking to anything, because you don't want those edges sticking to anything. And then we need one more piece of holly, and we want it to be a smaller piece, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut a little piece off from this one, because I've used a lot of my holly in the past couple of days playing with this stamp set, so I don't have a lot left. And we're just going to snip a little piece to add there at the top. And there you have it. There's our 2 tags. And why I only have one of these here now, I guess I moved the other one. But there's our 2 tags from the Deck the Halls and the Comfort and Joy. They are both part of the Most Wonderful Time product medley. This is video number 5, so this finishes up the products on page 39 in the holiday catalog. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll get around to doing another series like this from the holiday catalog at a later date. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye.